Okay, so this is the real account of my first ever DMT trip. A complete breakthrough experience. Please read this. I have tried to be as accurate as possible. This account also includes A4 drawings I drew in crayons straight after my experience on DMT. I am not a fantastic artist, but at the time I felt it very necessary to draw what I saw to help me remember it. I am not going to write you a novel, so I will jump straight to the point and include all the fantastic details. To make this easier for me, I will write this with a few headings as we go along. Other drugs I have taken: heroin, meth, ketamine, LSD, mushrooms, 2CB, MDMA, marijuana, probably more I'm forgetting. Yeah, I have really experimented a lot. I just got off buprenorphine a couple of months ago for my 8-week heroin addiction. Don't take heroin, by the way. Setting: I am in my girlfriend's jewelry workshop in her house in Australia. It's about 10 p.m. We have been smoking marijuana most of the day and I have just scored some DMT for the first time. I am eager to try it as I have read much about it, but my girlfriend is somewhat skeptical it will even work. She has had LSD before, how different could it be? So we are in a small comfortable room at night, and I'm a nice comfy couch-like seat. Substance: it's a very yellowy crystal, it's sticky almost. It's well refined to a degree, but I suppose it could be more dry and more crystally. It's damn good though. I believe it to be DMT. In Australia DMT is everywhere: acacia trees, red reed grass, etc. I believe this to be extracted from acacia trees at a golf course. Smile. Smoking it through a bong. Okay, so here we go. I pack a cone and put on a liberal dose of DMT. I can't really tell you how much I put on because I don't even know the strength or how well refined my DMT is, or how many mg I put on my cone. If this helps, about that much. About 3/4 the size of the fingernail on your index finger. I pulled the bong and hold in for about 3 seconds, then let out all the smoke. It tastes fairly shit, but I don't really mind at all. I put down my bong promptly and relax back into my chair waiting for shit to happen. 10 seconds after I pull, I close my eyes. There is a massive rushing sensation like my head is being sucked up into space. It almost forces me to close my eyes. The visualizations start. At first it starts like a Windows Media Player visualization, streaming lines coming towards me from the center of my vision. I feel like I am traveling through my vision. At this point everything starts to increase in intensity very fast. 30 seconds after. Okay, this is very extreme now. This is unlike anything I've had before. What I'm seeing is geometric patterns everywhere, in incredible detail. All kinds of shapes I have never seen before. It's impossible to describe. It overwhelms me completely. 60 seconds after. This is where it gets really interesting. At this stage I am completely immersed in a different reality. I am aware that I am sitting in my girlfriend's workshop, somehow. I am faintly aware that I'm even sitting down, but what I see is tremendously overwhelming. Have you seen the movie Cube or Cube Hypercube? If so, imagine falling outside the cubes, endlessly falling. My whole reality has changed. I am falling outside these cubes, but what I'm seeing is endless green cubes coming right up to my mind's eye. They are green cubes, with red ruby eyes, and they have a great white shark's mouth. I am not shitting you. I drew a picture and it looks crazy. How could I draw something that insane? I can barely even draw. The cubes have a distinctly female presence. It's so weird. I can actually tell the sex of the cubes? Are they intimate visualizations? But they feel like they have a personality? This is extremely overwhelming. I said that already, but it's understated, okay? At this point I start moaning. I'm like, ugh. My girlfriend knows I am experiencing an insane trip, so she comes over to comfort me. She touches my shoulder to comfort me and she tells me it's alright, just relax, you will be okay. At the time I can't even identify where she is touching me. It feels like I am in a liquid bubble. I can feel her energy touching me, but it's impossible to even pinpoint where on my body I'm being touched. Even the couch I'm sitting on feels like it's melted into the bubble. For all intensive purposes I am floating in an entirely different reality. Immediately after being comforted on the shoulder. So straight after she touches me, almost immediately, her comforting touch transports me out of the cube dimension into a purple vortex room. This shit was so complex I couldn't even draw it. Basically, as she touched me, it started like a sweeping motion in my vision. From my very right to my very left, it was a complete windscreen wide motion into a different reality. It happened in about 3 seconds of real time. Holy hell, it was amazing. And relieving. What I saw was a purple room, with completely different dimensions than the room we are in. When I say dimensions, I mean that we are in a small room about 15 to 20 to 30 meters squared. But my depth is so different, I feel like I'm in a purple house. There is paintings on the wall, everything is purple and wavy. The crazy thing to note here is that the dimensions have completely changed. I literally feel I am in a different world, and I am in a house that could be the size of a mansion. For example, if I stood up and ran, I could run for hundreds of meters. It was truly spectacular. Also, there was a staircase. What the hell? I have never seen this house in my life. At this stage I was just so happy and relieved to be out of the cube dimension and into something new and comforting. Opening my eyes. Okay, after only God knows how long of being in the purple room, actually it must have only been about 30 seconds. I felt that I could open my eyes. What happens next is truly insane. I will try to describe the best I can. When I open my eyes, what I can see is the actual reality of the room. So I can see where I am sitting, where my girlfriend is, the table/chair/tools in the room, etc. But the whole world is like it has foam cutouts over it. Imagine that you took a photo of the room you were in, then when the photo was developed, it was life-sized, and for every object in the room, you took a piece of colored foam and stuck it around the edges of the object. I don't even know what my girlfriend looked like because I was so focused at this swivel chair, with the back missing, sitting in the middle of the room. The swivel chair, more like a swivel seat, had googly eyes on it and was made out of foam with cutouts all around it. Like a linocut. Definition: linocut is a printmaking technique, a variant of woodcut in which a sheet of linoleum, sometimes mounted on a wooden block, is used for the relief surface. Anyway, I swear to you, it had googly eyes stuck on it, and it was green and red and blue, and the whole room was different colored. Every color in the room was different. It was so shocking and almost frightening that this chair was staring at me with its googly eyes that I had to close my eyes again. When I say googly eyes, I mean like a circle-shaped piece of plastic with a white background, and a smaller black piece of plastic circle inside it. Like a plastic eye you would get on a toy. But big. 30 seconds later. Okay, I must have been in the trip about 4 to 5 minutes now, but for all intensive purposes it might as well have been 45 plus minutes. It felt like forever. This part coming up is the most exciting / favorite part of the whole experience. I am starting to come back into reality. Colors are returning to normal around me, I think. My eyes are open, I think. But what happens next is truly profound. In the room, emerges this huge Aztec structure. Yes, Aztec. It had a huge personality. It wasn't male or female, but when I say presence, it's like there was another human in the room. You can feel a strong energy unlike an intimate object. This thing was living. This living Aztec structure emerged in front of me with swirling symbols on it, and it had 2 huge arm-like rings around it. It was literally shining down upon me as I look up in total awe at its magnificence. It's shining so bright down upon me and it dwarfs everything in the room. It also extends past the roof of the ceiling of the workshop we are in. It is gleaming down upon me, when suddenly, it shakes its arm like wooden things, and then all these flags drop down with shining blue eyes in the flags. There is a huge ringing in my ears like the sound of angels from heaven showing me something amazing. I was already jaw open, totally in awe of its beauty when it then did that, and it was just totally amazing. At this stage my trip is coming to an end and the Aztec structure slowly fades away. The only words that could come out of my mouth as I returned back to normal was OMFG, oh my FKN God, oh my FKN God. Repeat 50 times. I just didn't know what else to say. From what I understand, my experience was a complete breakthrough experience, compared to other reports and what other people have told me. I was really transported to another reality, not just receiving faint visuals. After comments. When my girlfriend smoked her DMT, she was so blasé about the whole thing like it was nothing new. Her hand literally just opened after she smoked the bong, and it slipped from her hand. I caught it just in time, lol. She was obviously taken by surprise. She did some moaning too, but she only saw a bright white light and shining patterns. She had the same dose as me but failed to describe in any detail what she saw, which was kind of a bummer, I guess. But no biggie. 30 minutes after smoking, I felt fully functional, my brain was working perfectly, I didn't feel wrecked in any way. Although there was lingering color effects for at least 45 minutes. I actually had some more DMT that night, but it was too soon after my last experience so it didn't do much. It just warped my colors and it wasn't strong at all. If you have listened this far, thank you so much for listening to my experience.